Welcome to your Saturday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We hope that you had a great Friday and that you got to get out there and enjoy that sunshine just a little bit. I'm your host today, Maddie Evans, and I love getting to spend each and every weekend morning with you, so make sure that you tune in to Wasatch Weekends Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starting at 7 a.m. That way we can get you in the know before you get out into our community and participate in any of the wonderful events. Now, if you are getting out there to ski or ride today, make sure that you bring plenty of sunscreen with you and that you are prepared to layer that up throughout the course of today because that sun is going to make its way out again. Now let's talk about some of the wonderful things taking place in our community. You can make your way over to the Park City Museum today. That's right, you can go enjoy the rich history that makes Park City. Park City, it's located on Park City Main Street, and admission is free today, the third Saturday of every month. They waive the admission fee so everyone can go. If you're visiting, if you live here, it doesn't matter. Just get your family over there and explore all of the cool interactive things that they have to do at the Park City Museum. Now, for more information, you can go to their website at parkcityhistory.org, and that way you can learn about all of the great upcoming events that they have taking place, and then that way you can just plan your trip to the museum around all of the other fun things that you want to do here in our community. Now, if you're going to branch out, maybe leave Park City this morning and go over to Snowbird to ski or ride. Well, they've got a great deal taking place with carpooling. That's right, they're trying to take that congestion out of the canyon and make it nice and easy. So if you carpool up to Snowbird, they're offering a variety of surprise giveaways on select peak traffic days throughout the season. The car must have 4 or more passengers to be eligible for the giveaways, and there's designated carpool spots that are in desirable locations. So this is really not only something that you can do for the environment to kind of keep that emission from the cars down, but also this is something that you can do for yourself because it's a ton of fun. Now, if you are making your way up to Snowbird today, well, they have a great activity happening that you're not going to want to miss. There's a big green tire hidden somewhere on the mountain, and what this green tire represents, the first person who finds this green tire is going to win a free pair of tires. And so if you need new tires for your car, then go up to Snowbird and hunt this green tire down. Now, they're recommending that you use the app and social media to help you find the green tires. They're going to be placing little clues throughout the day for you to find the tire, and then like I said, once you find it, then you win. First person to find it wins, and there's going to be a list of instructions on how you can redeem to get your brand new free tires. Snowbird is really making it super desirable to go up and ski or ride there, so make sure that you check it out. Now, something else that you can do tonight that's a ton of fun for the whole family is you can get out for Saturday Night Lights, and that's taking place at Solitude Resort. Now, if you like to do something a little bit different when you get out there and ski, well then look at this beautiful like pattern on the mountain with all these glow sticks. So you can go check that out and you can enjoy fireworks. And all of the fun is going to kick off at 3 p.m. You can see this entire lineup. There's a concert, there's a magic show, there's food and beverages available for purchase, and then the torchlight parade followed by the fireworks. So this is something you're not going to want to miss, and it's really beneficial for the whole family to just get out there and do something together. And fireworks in the winter is one of my favorite things to enjoy, so make sure that you make your way over there and you check out all of that fun as well. Now, we've got a great show in store for you for the next little bit of Wasatch Weekends. We had a chance to chat with some amazing people here in our community, and so we're excited to introduce them to you. We're going to take a look at that local weather forecast right now.
This resort report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
woman who wears many hats just released an incredible book to help you find your true meaning of happiness, and that's Terry Sidford. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here because when I say many hats, speaker, author, podcast host, and a life coach, there's nothing that you don't do to help people really find their true enlightenment in this life.
Thank you. Wow, that's quite the introduction. I think that's been my life purpose, and I think I'm very lucky to have found that in my life. And to help other people is really what fulfills me. And I can relate to a lot of people because of what I've been through in my life. And my new book is my memoir. It tells every story about my life and how I had to overcome adversity to be strong. And that's why I can relate to most people. And I've been given a gift of learning from those lessons. And I turned trials into triumph. And I'm very proud of that in my life. And I want everyone to know that no matter what they've gone through in their life, that they can start over and that they can have a fulfilling life and a successful life. Just learn and grow from every experience. So that's really kind of the basis of it, with 3 concepts of truth, courage, love.
I was just going to say, so Truth, Courage, Love is your second book, but your first memoir. And I have so many questions only because what you did in this book is so inspiring. So what originally inspired you to write Truth, Courage, Love?
Well, I've been asked that one a lot. And really it's because I had a really big birthday last year, and it kind of made me think about my life and, how did I do so far? Is there still some lessons I need to learn? Am I at peace with everything? Am I proud? Have I left anything on the table? Is there anything else I need to do? And I sat there for a moment thinking, wow, I've had an interesting life, yet I am so proud of where I'm at and what I've learned. And now having a rough start, having a great ending to my 60 years. Yes.
You look amazing for being 60. No one would know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And it's even hard to say, but I'm proud. And now I want to give back. I really want people to know that no matter what happens, no matter what age you are, you can start again. Just learn, grow, and fulfill your potential at any time of your life. You can start over today in any moment. That's what I hope when you read my book, that you'll learn that, wow, she went through those things and she still was able to do the things that she's dreamed of doing or never even thought of doing in her life. And I really have a tremendous, humbling appreciation.
Which is such an important message for so many people to have, no matter your age, no matter what you've been through, like you said, just to have that little bit of encouragement from someone like you is so empowering. And so let's talk a little bit about what the writing process was like.
Ooh, thank you. Interesting enough, which you'll read in my book, I was very, very insecure growing up from my childhood experiences, and I did not have any confidence. In fact, I remember going home and having to practice writing. I was very, I didn't do well in English or with my grammar. And someone asked me about my experience with coaching a lot of women and how strong they were. And I said, I know, they're so strong and they don't see it in themselves. And she said, well, why didn't you write a book? I looked at her like she was from, outer space. Like, no, I can't write a book. This is not me. And she said, Terry, I'm going to help you. So what I have learned in now my second book is that if you have a story or a message, you can get it out there, and there's people that can help you. I just got this story out. I did a lot of writing, and then I had someone help me with the grammar and making sure it's edited. And it's a beautiful process. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I know most people do have a story to tell. We all do. And so if I can write the book, which was hard. I mean, it's a lot of work. You have to be dedicated to it, but it's so worth it. So worth it.
Well, and it's so incredible for you to share your story now as you were writing this book, because it is talking about some hardship and it is giving that most vulnerable side to you. When you were writing it, did you have any moments of shock about how open you were being with the readers?
Yes, yes. Many, many times I thought, why on earth would I be telling this story or will people understand it, or will someone be upset with this story? I mean, it's kind of the whole gambit. And I asked myself, well, it wouldn't be being truthful and honest if I didn't tell all the stories. And it's really what happened, and that's okay. And isn't it empowering to know that we can tell our stories and be okay with that? And we should be okay with that. And yes, so there's stories that were really difficult to tell, but I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to be honest, and I'm proud of that.
And your vulnerability is going to give so many other people strength. Just in having that kind of moment of comparison and that moment of truth that maybe you're going to help other people live, I think is so empowering. And so congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
And thank
Thank you.
you so much for being so wonderful to share all of this information with others.
Oh, you're welcome. It's really an honor for me. And I would just want to help everyone know that, you don't have to be defined by your past. You really don't. And you can turn trials into triumph. Just learn, grow, ask people for help. And you can still live the life of your dreams and your potential. That's the message I want everyone to know.
Which I think is such a wonderful message. Now, if people are interested, obviously, in reading your first book and your second book, where can they buy them?
On Amazon, you can just go to Amazon. You can either type in Terry Sidford, and that's Terry Sidford, and the title of my books, and they'll pop up: 100 Hearts, spelled out, 100 Hearts, and Truth, Courage, Love.
Truth, Courage, Love sounds like the perfect book for maybe anyone going through some hardship. Now, you also have a great podcast, really giving people those extra stories for courage, to find their inner strength, and you really focus a lot on helping people find their true happiness. So let's talk a little bit about your podcast.
Well, I also started a group called Choose Courage Movement because I've started out kind of an expert with courage, and I wanted to share with the audience, or as many people as I can, these stories of courage. Because I think the more that we hear stories of courage through my podcast, and I try to have very interesting guests, is that the more we see it in ourselves. And the more that we see it in ourselves, the more courageous we become in a daily life. And so that's my whole goal. And it is so fun to find these amazing people and their amazing stories. So if there's anyone out there that feels like they do have an amazing story, I would love for you to contact me on that. I would love to interview on my podcast.
Which I think is so cool that you are giving people not only the platform to share their moments of maybe feeling their most courageous, but you're also giving people just that little bit of comfort, knowing that there are people going through similar things and enduring similar things. Now, you're also a life coach. So if people are interested in maybe just having the opportunity to talk with you and listen to your story a little bit more personally and have you give them those words of wisdom that you so generously shared in your book, how can they do so?
They can contact me on my website, which is Terry, Terry Sidford, SIDFORD.com, terrysidford.com, and just reach out to me and we can have a consultation to see if this coaching is right for you. I'm here to just help anyone take things to the next level if they feel like there's something that's in the way. And really, it's a fun and exciting process. It's like having your cheerleader right next to you.
Which I think everyone needs. My mom always says that to me. She's like, just rally your inner cheerleader, Maddie, and you'll be fine. You'll get through it. And so I love to hear that, and I really love what you do. I think that having people like you in our community, in our lives, and just out there to spread the positivity and really just that like driving force forward to help people find their best selves is so powerful.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's really feels like a dream for me to be able to do what I feel like is my life purpose. And that's what I like to help other people find in their life. Because once you're doing what you love and what really lights you up and inspires you, then it's contagious. It's just like that ripple effect. It will affect everyone around you. So it's really why we should all live our potential and our purpose in life.
You are a beautiful force to be reckoned with. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy that I could have this time with you today.
We're really happy to have you, and we really do appreciate all the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
make sure that you go on Amazon and you buy her book, and that way maybe you can share your stories as well, because it's a therapeutic way to find your inner courage. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back from the break, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned. Do you love reality TV? Well, Basketball Wives is back and it's better than ever, and we've got Jackie Christie joining me to talk all things that are taking place. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for taking the time. Your schedule is busy, girl. I was looking at it and you are all over the place.
I am, yes. And with my husband coaching, I travel with him. So I'm in different cities, or I'm shooting my podcast in a different city, or traveling out of the country. Yeah, it's a lot, but I love it.
You're staying super busy, and not only that, but you have a camera crew that's constantly following you around in your day-to-day life. What is that like?
You know what? It's interesting because I've been doing it now for 10 years, and I had a show prior to Basketball Wives, and that was on for a couple of years too. So I'm used to it. But for most people, it would be pretty intrusive. I'm okay with it.
It is pretty intrusive. You're showing the most vulnerable parts of yourself. And so to have someone there kind of constantly, and especially when things might get a little bit messy, which it sounds like this season, there's a little bit of drama.
It is. And every season, you already know, we go through our trials and tribulations. But at the end of the day, we always somehow find a way to, stay in our friendships and work through different things. So I'm so excited for everybody to tune in Mondays at 8 o'clock on VH1. And especially with this premiere, when it comes out, they're going to love it.
I'm really excited to see it, and I've recently just been starting to get into the reality TV show life, only because you do get to see these sides of people. And honestly, the thing that people forget is there are tidbits of almost advice that you guys give to one another that really can help other people go through their day-to-day life.
That's right. I love what you just said. And that's the whole thing. It is a lot of, ups and downs. There's yelling, there's screaming, there's passion, there's, fun moments, there's, interesting moments, there's crazy moments. But at the end of the day, there's always a message, especially in whatever I'm doing and saying. I really am happy that you said that, because it's true.
Now, you've got a great book behind you that you've written, and you've got a podcast. So let's talk a little bit about how you keep everything in line, because you have a crazy busy career.
You know what? Thank you for that. Yes, I've written 5 books, actually 6 books. And the one behind me is No Ordinary Love, a true story of marriage and basketball. My husband and I wrote that, dealing with his career, signing and becoming an NBA basketball player and all of the rest. I keep balance because we are a family that really support one another. Like when he played, my career, I still had it, but it took a little bit of a back seat, and I supported my husband. I traveled with him. I raised the kids. I, made sure the home was right and everything was done so he could just go out and focus on basketball. And then when he started winding that part of his career down, then my career took off, and now he's coaching. So we're back out there again, too busy, lifestyles, but we make it work because I'm on the road with him or he's on the road with me, and it's amazing.
It is amazing, and it's cool to see your guys' love prevail through everything that you have been going through with the cameras there, and then, of course, his travel schedule, and then your work schedule, and then making sure that the kids are fully taken care of. So if you had one piece of advice to give women who maybe have a partner that's always on the road, what would you give them?
I would give them, be their biggest support system. Everyone can thrive when they have a strong support, and backbone, and a family that's there for them. Communicate, respect each other, and always put each other first, and you'll be fine.
Now, if you had to sum up Basketball Wives in 3 words, which 3 words would you pick?
Oh my God, passionate, explosive, real.
Which we love that, because that all makes for great television. And like you said, there's always some kind of message at the end of each kind of show and story and everything that you guys are doing, which makes it so much more entertaining, and it also makes it valuable to those watching.
Definitely. I would have to say that. And here we are 10 seasons later, and the fans are still loving it and still riding with us and still tweeting and saying, when are you guys back? And I'm so happy to see you back. And it warms my heart, because it says, even though sometimes I might get into it with the ladies, I think the fans know that I'm like Mama Bear and I just want to help them. And sometimes they don't want my help. So everybody got to tune in this part of the season, because you guys are going to be shocked.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your podcast. What kind of things do you cover in your wonderful podcast?
Oh my God, everything. I talk about relationships, sports, entertainment, love, books. Nothing's off the table. I want to use my podcast to not only inspire, but encourage, motivate, give, educational, information. I like to, tell people where they can shop and get good bargains. I travel with my podcast. So it's a variety show of sorts.
Which is so amazing because then it just gives people that little bit more inside look at who you are. And I want to thank you for being so vulnerable on camera. I know that's not an easy task that you guys are kind of accomplishing as a group, but it is really appreciated because we love to see the real you.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Now, when can people catch Basketball Wives?
We air Mondays at 8 o'clock, 7 Central on VH1.
Make sure that you tune into Basketball Wives. It's going to be a ton of fun and you're not going to want to miss this season. You heard it here first. It's explosive, it's passionate, and it's real, which is going to make it all a ton of fun. So make sure that you check it out. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
This resort report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Thank you so much for tuning into your Saturday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We hope that you get out there and you participate in any of the fun activities that are taking place here in our community. Maybe go see that movie over at the theater, which is Broker, which is supposed to be amazing. I just watched the trailer for it and I'm jealous because I will not have the time to make it over there this weekend, but I do want to see that movie. Now, I really am inspired by Terry. I hope that you are as well, and you can catch her podcast anywhere that you listen to your podcast, because inspiring courage is one of the biggest superpowers that we all have within us, and so make sure that you check that out. Also, check out Basketball Wives. It's going to be an entertaining season filled with some drama, if you know what I mean. So if you like reality TV shows, then I highly recommend that you tune into that. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow for your Sunday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We'll be here starting at 7 a.m. and we'll have a lot of fun information, even a flashback to the past tomorrow for something that you can get out there and enjoy this weekend. I've been your host, Maddie Evans. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.